if you feel aggrieved about the report, put the material, point to the Commission to where the specific issues are, and expect them to treat you fairly.
Okay.
And I would support you being treated, anyone in here being treated fairly. What I will not support is any attempt to undermine the legitimacy of the Integrity Commission, any attempt to undermine their powers or their mandate. I think it's very important that we avoid doing that. And no matter how much you want to howl, it's not going to affect me. I said and I maintained that I've noticed a trend for the government members in Parliament through the Oversight Committee or the committee that's reviewing the Integrity Commission to seek to dismantle its powers in some ways that would, I think, neuter it and make it ineffective. I caution against that. I think the Integrity Commission needs to be nurtured as a young institution and supported so it can fulfill its mandate of trying to eradicate corruption in this country, which is one of the most serious problems this country faces. And I think it's very important that Parliament not send a signal that would be interpreted by the wider public as suggesting that we are at odds with that motive. Now, insofar as fairness to individuals is concerned, I think it's important that individuals be treated with fairly. And where the Integrity Commission transgresses in that regard, I expect them to correct that in an appropriate manner, as they have done with this addendum. To the extent that the member for St. Mary, Western, feels he has not been treated fairly, I expect him to put the material before the Commission, which would put them in a position to adjudicate that matter, and they can respond accordingly. But it is important that the Integrity Commission see fairness as part of what is their mandate. On the other hand, anything to do with reducing their powers, curtailing the scope of their investigatory mandate, their prosecutorial mandate, will not have my support. I am very much in favor of that institution being empowered to do its work, because corruption is a problem in the country. We have seen a lot of it over the last several years. As for the Leadership Code of Conduct, I was sent it, I signed it. I encourage the Integrity Commission to allow the members of the Shadow Cabinet to also sign it. They said that they don't have a problem with that, and most have signed it. And I don't see why the other side is resisting. The addendum addresses an objection to the content of the report insofar as it, in a misleading way, omitted evidence that was given to the Commission. And they have chosen to issue an addendum to respond to that. And as it happens, they agree with that criticism, and they have corrected it in relation to the matters raised by that person. In relation to the rest of the report, which largely affects the member for Western St. Mary in his then capacity as minister, the addendum says the Director of Investigations sees no reason at this time to disturb the remainder of the report of the former interim Director of Investigations. The report had been done by a predecessor. So what I read that as saying is that based on the material that they have seen or heard, they don't see any reason to change their ruling on those matters. It is for the member to raise those issues with them in a convincing way if he feels aggrieved, as was done by the person who they have responded to here.